Hi, I'm Raquel, and this is Law Librarian Plans. Today, I'm going to be decorating the monthly pages in my goals planner. So let's get started. I'm going to go ahead and grab those two pages out, and I'm going to leave them right here so that I can decorate a little bit more comfortably. So for today, I pulled out the Summer Memory Sticker Book by Amber Plans for Day, and I'm going to also use some boxes from Mojo Jojo Plans and some washi from Planny Thing. Planny Thing recently created a few bundles of their washi. They're a really, really good deal. I saw them on the website, still available as of yesterday. So if you love her washi, I recommend you run and grab these. They're a really, really good price. There are three bundles. One is the honeycomb, one is the scallop, and one is the grid. I am not an affiliate. I don't have a code for you. I just wanted to let you know because they are really very, very nice and a very good deal. So for this monthly, the way I use this monthly is simply to give me a sense of what my month looks like so that I can then schedule projects and things like that associated with my goals. So this does not have all the appointments and all the stuff that you would expect in a monthly. It is simply just to give me an idea of what's happening in my month and where can I find pockets that I can do stuff that I need to do. So, for example, today is Independence Day, and it's a day that's a day off for me, so I can use today to work on videos or whatever else. So the set that I chose for this is actually this one, which is a beachy one. I love the colors. I love how bright they are. And as I usually do here, I'm just going to take the page out because I don't really need to work with it in the book. And if I do things well, I might actually use up the entire sheet in this spread. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to actually use my washi. And I thought that perhaps what I might do is I might frame the page. I'm thinking about it and seeing if I can frame it in this direction and if it might be a good thing for me to use for this spread. I love the yellow. There's not a lot of yellow in the sticker, so I'm thinking that the yellow probably is a better bet to use as the frame as opposed to using the pink where there's a ton of pink in this sticker set that I could use. So that's what I'm thinking here that I might do. And I just took a moment to grab my tools because I keep forgetting to grab my tools. So sorry about that. And do I really want to white those lines? I think I'm going to leave them alone. I'm comfortable with the washi with the lines showing through at this point, especially because of how I use this particular monthly. So let's get that done. I think I'm going to do the top and bottom and not the rest of it. And then if I use the pink washi, it would be as an accent or something else. But as I said, there's a ton of pink in that sticker sheet, so I probably don't really need that pink washi. I just pulled it out because it was a good match to what's happening here. So we have the bottom of the page now done, and let's repeat that here at the top. And yes, we're already on the fourth day of July when I'm filming this. A slow start to getting myself set up, and actually not really a slow start, just a lot of stuff going on right now, and I just haven't had the time to sit down and really get things done as quickly as I normally do. Now, of course, now I'm covering the dates, but that's not a big deal here um, for me. So I'm a little bit of a slow start this month. I still haven't sat down and do my goals planning for this month. That's something I'm going to do probably later today. And also finish reflection on the first quarter of the year, the first 6 months, and readjusting some of my annual goals perhaps. Um, One thing I did tell myself this year is that I wasn't going to be completely obsessed with my goals, and that it's more important to stick to the spirit of the goals than it is to actually achieve them 100%. But I'm doing pretty well. I'm pretty happy with where things are going, and I may or may not record a short video going over my goals for this year and tell you where I am. But I think that works. I like how nice and bright it is, and it gives kind of a frame to the whole spread. So I am pulling up a calendar on my computer, mostly because I don't remember what dates I have things on this month. So it's a pretty normal work month for me. I have my days when I'm working from home, and that's pretty much the biggest thing that I have that of note right now. So let's do some decorations. I think um, I want to go ahead and maybe use this umbrella down here. And even though I didn't use the white pen for the washi, I think I do want to use it for the decorations. So let me lift that up for a moment and grab that white pen from my kit to white out the line. Um, so let's do that. Uh. Okay, I think I whited out enough of the box. Okay, not bad, not great, not bad. We're working, it's working. And I guess maybe what I'll do is I'll use this bottom line to make a whole beach scene with the various pieces that are here. I'm probably not going to end up using all these stickers now that I'm looking at them a little bit more closely because there's multiples of almost everything. So, but okay. All right, let's see. I think that did the trick, kind of, sorta. But maybe that beach scene is feeling like the right thing to do here, um, and then maybe I'll stick some additional things across the top. Let's put this ball. Maybe not. Maybe I'll just start putting things in various boxes. I do this a lot. I'm sorry, I change my mind more than I can. That I change my mind in many other things whenever I'm decorating my spreads. But let's see. There's this cute little yellow hat. So let's use that yellow hat. And let's use that here. And I just realized that ball is kind of in the way, so I'm going to have to move that. So on Fridays in the summer, in the month of July, we get a half day off. It's bonus time that my employer gives us. So that's a great time for me to work on projects and things like that. And so I want to make sure that I highlight that. I know it off the top of my head, of course I do, but just I like visual reminders, even of things that I know very well. So having that visual reminder here will hopefully help me plan ahead. When I come and review this particular planner, I can plan ahead and say, oh, okay, I have that project that I want to get done. So that Friday would be a good time for me to work on that sort of thing. So yeah, so that's why I decorate this more than anything. Is there's decoration, but it's more of a trying to plan ahead of when I'm going to have some free time to do things. So let me move this ball right now while I'm thinking about it. And I'm gonna grab a head like so. And I think I'm going to put it on Saturday. I know Saturday is fine. I don't have to, I know I have my weekends off, so I'll have time that day to work on whatever. All right, so keeping on with this theme, I'm going to put the straw bag right over here. And maybe this time I'll get a little bit smarter and white out some lines before I even put down the sticker. How about that? Let's try that. It's funny, things that you do pretty automatically and take for granted when you're doing this, when you're decorating and you're not really talking, you're just in your zen zone and that all that. You forget all that stuff when you start talking about decorating. So I haven't mentioned this before, I don't think, in my previous videos, but I used to have a live in a Facebook group. I did a few different ones for about 3, 4 years. It started right around the pandemic, and I wrapped it up last year. Uh, so a lot of practice talking and decorating, but it still doesn't make it any easier. So if you're thinking about making the plunge about recording stuff, that sort of thing, don't let that be a reason why you don't do it, because it's awkward, and for most people, it's always going to be awkward. especially if you know, it's not just you talking about decorating, but also trying to almost having a conversation with yourself. So uh, don't let that be the thing that stops you from doing something like this. Is it something that you want to do? To be quite honest with you, the reason I didn't start doing YouTube, um, and I was very comfortable with the live, is because I teach and I record videos for teaching. And for that, it's a little bit more, it's more constrained. There's usually a PowerPoint and whatnot, but it felt very comfortable. It felt almost like I was doing live, that my, or rather my recordings felt like I was in class, like I was lecturing in class. So it didn't feel like a weird, you know, cognitive dissonance of things that are not matching, what you're seeing is not matching what you're doing, that sort of thing. But for YouTube, what really kept me away from starting YouTube until now was the fact that I was very afraid about the technical requirements. And it turns out that a lot of this you do with YouTube Studio, so it's not really something that you have to figure out. YouTube Studio kind of walks you through. Now, granted, you do need to have some um, understand a graphics program and use a graphics program. If you're going to edit your videos, you definitely need to learn how to use an editing tool. But beyond that, it's not, it doesn't feel particularly hard to me. Um, Now, that doesn't mean that, what I'm doing is the best of the world or anything like that, but it just, once I realized all of that, it just makes sense to me to take that plunge and just try it out. So that's what I'm doing. I'm trying it out and seeing how I like it, and if people like it, and from there we'll go from there. So that's a few more things to the bottom here. It's going to be a bottom heavy kind of spread, I'm realizing, but it feels right. It feels kind of right to put everything here in the bottom and make this kind of a beach scene, of what's going on. I think I'm going to use the goggles here, to finish that line, and maybe I'll move the ball. I wasn't going to put everything across the bottom, but now I'm kind of liking it. So let's put these. So yeah, a little bit of an overlap there, but kind of solve that. Let's white out the line. Okay. Okay. Good. And I know I have something that day, so maybe I'll move that thing. Oh, there's a little bit of something on the page. Didn't notice that before. That's okay. That is all okay. Okay. Whew. So this month, I am working on connections, connecting with people. I'll say it's day 4 of the month. I'm not doing terribly. I had a very nice chat, long chat with my bestie. Um, we try to catch up via Zoom, approximately once a month. She lives in a different state, so we had a nice convo for a couple hours, and then I'm talking with my mom. Waiting for her to get home so I can have a nice video chat with her. And then I'm gonna go and hang out with my husband for a little while, maybe watch some TV, maybe cook some dinner, that sort of thing. So connecting with the people I love. So not doing too bad for the 4th of July. We don't really do parties or barbecue or anything like that. We've done it in the past, but it's not like a big thing for us. So I think I really want the sun, and I think I want to put it up here so it's diagonal from the other big element that we have here. So let me grab a little bit of. No, I was going to wipe that out with a roller tape roller, but I think I'm going to just try to white it out with a pen to minimize how much of the white stuff is on the page. How about that? The tape is great when you're going to cover a large spot and your sticker is going to cover that, is going to go right over it all the way. But here it's only going to be a couple points that are going to hit, um, the star. So let's see. I'm just doing a quick frame check, making sure we're still in that frame. Um, and then once I finish putting these decorative elements, I'm going to start adding some functional elements to this spread. I know I need to take a day off, but I haven't figured out when. So that's not going to go in here just yet. But let's see. I get this kind of centered. And I think I'm not going to try to white this out. That's a lot of stuff, but I will use the tape to white out that Saturday because I'm covering most of it anyway. And of course, the whiteout that was next to me has disappeared from the drawer. Let's see if I have another one in my toolkit. All right, I found one in my toolkit. So I'm going to just white out the word Saturday here because that's mostly going to be covered by the sticker. So, okay, that's better. All right. So yeah, so we have the washi. I could have taken the washi off, but it's fine. It's good. It doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to look good. And it looks pretty good to me. All right, I think I'm done. Well, maybe not. I have some space up here. Should I put some decorations there or should I keep that illusion that this is a beach scene? Um, I'm gonna wait on that. All right, so now that I have the major decorative element that I wanted to put in here, I'm going to go ahead and mark the Fridays as days for getting things done. And I'm looking in these books, and this one has this beautiful yellow, although it's not the same yellow as that, so that's kind of a now, but it has pink and orange, which we have pink and orange here. So I think I'm gonna do that. I think that's a good way of doing things. So in between spending time with my loved ones today, I have a couple other things I want to do. I want to swatch some washi that I got. This washi plus some from the Archer and Olive subscription box. I'm also going to update a couple of my supply inventories. I keep lists for sticker books and for various other things that I purchase. Um, just it helps me, with the sticker books, it helps remind me what the covers are. Yeah, that works. And also when I'm trying to remember the name of something, because I'm terrible about remember the names of collections. So the having the inventories with the pictures is super helpful that way. All right. So I think I don't have a ton of decorative stuff here. I know I'm gonna have another, excuse me, functional stuff. Another day when I'm going to take the day off. Um, but I haven't figured that out just yet. All right, and this one's gonna have to go a little bit higher because of the handles of my bag, but that's okay. It's all good. A little bit too close. All right. Let me think a little bit more here. I think this month I'm probably going to end up working from home a couple more times, and that buys me a tiny bit of time because I'm not um, commuting. So on days when I work from home, I can start earlier and end earlier, and then have a couple hours at the end of the day where I can get some things done before I then start cooking and doing all the usual things that we do on a weekday. So I may do that this month. Once I go back to the office on Monday and look at the schedules and everybody and who's where when, then I can decide, okay, what other day can I work from home and minimally impact what we're doing. I'm going to try to avoid Tuesdays. Tuesdays is the one day this summer that everybody is in the office. So I try to avoid that day, and I try not to do and Friday at the same Monday and Friday off because it creates a 4-day weekend and it's kind of problematic. But I don't know. I have to think. We have people off Monday, Wednesdays, Thursday, and Friday. So I'm trying to figure out what makes the most sense with the staff. Um, we all work together as a very good team. So, all right, I want to add some blue elements here, and these boxes are great, but again, I don't really have anything that needs to be highlighted that way. I'm looking at the calendar right now on my computer to see if I can figure out what's happening. I have some, that's work stuff. Yeah, no, I really don't have anything else that I can put in here that will somehow that's functional, that is necessary. So there's no necessary function here. I might put a box here just because it looks kind of bare. So let's see if I can find, I do like the blue box. This blue is not the same blue as that though, although it's close enough. Um, but I think I want to stick with the pink and the yellow, since we're doing that theme. This is the primary color. Maybe an orange. That's what I'll do. I'll see if I can have if I still have the orange box that coordinates with this orange, and I do. All right, so I'm going to use that orange box up here. And this is very, very simple spread, but it does the job. The primary job of this is to alert me to when I can get things done in my goals. So not work stuff, obviously, because I do that at the office, but my personal goals. Um, I would like to do a couple more things. So if I can figure out when I want to do my second remote day, I could schedule my I can schedule my adventure days. And my adventure work days are days when I'm working remotely, but I'm not working remotely from home. So I need to find a place that is going to be um, that is not going to be the office, that is going to have basic necessities, food, a bathroom, beverages, that sort of thing, Wi-Fi, of course, that I can work on projects, because that's mostly what I want to do. Is this month is a writing project kind of time where I really need to, double down and get some things done that are due. So looking at the schedule, it's looking very unavoidable that I um working 2 days and I'm having a 4 day weekend, because it's not really a 4 day weekend. I'm still working. It's just a remote day. So unless I do Wednesdays, let's see. Yeah, I think it may have to be Wednesdays. Although we have a lot of people out on Wednesdays. Maybe Thursdays. I think I'm not going to be able to avoid it. I think it's going to be the whole, oh well, too bad, I'm going to have to be out. So that's what I'm going to do. So I am going to schedule myself for being from working from home or working remotely on Thursdays. And I'm going to use these days to work on my writing projects, um, or projects that I can do that only require one screen, because that's the other challenge. Is I have multiple screens both at home and in the office, and it has to be a project that doesn't need, that doesn't require me to have a second screen. Usually I do that when I have spreadsheets that I'm working on, or some project where I have to look up information that goes into something else. So it's clear here that this is going to be a problem with the boxes. So I'm going to one more time move a couple stickers, because it's going to be more convenient to do this a different way. So bear with me one more time. I think I'm going to leave that ball there. I'm going to switch the order of these two. I'm going to take this little one out like so, set it aside on the table for a moment, and then this time we're going to be smarter, and we're going to just white out the whole line first. And let's see, that does the trick there. And then white out this line like so. And this one's already whited out. And we keep saying white out. I keep saying white out. That's not that's a brand name. We are whiting it out. I don't know that there's another word in the English language that quite conveys what whiting out uh, is, other than whiting out. So let's take this one like so, and we're going to plant it right here on top of the washi, right here. The other thing I could have done was cut off the extra material at the bottom of the sticker, but again, it's not about perfection here. It's about getting it done and making it look relatively good, and making it, oh, guess what I just did? See, sometimes you got to plan these things. You can't be quite completely off the cuff, because off the cuff doesn't work. And we discovered that that doesn't work right now. So we're going to take our little ball, And this one I am going to trim so that it doesn't, I have the space to put, actually I don't need to. I can put it right here. And actually that was covering that orange little stain that we found on the page. I'll put it here. It's all good. It's all good. And then the orange sticker that's going to go over it can cover the excess clear sticker. That's fine. See if I can get it off the page. All right. So sometimes planning your spread kind of helps, I think. This would have been one of those days when planning my spread would have made a lot more sense. All right. And then I can move this one down. And these are not quite the width of the boxes. These quarter box stickers, the version that comes in the monthly boxes sticker book that Mojo Jojo Plants makes, that one actually does extend the whole length of the sticker. All right, so now one more line on the right here to accommodate this lovely bag. And now on the adventure days, I probably, depending on how far I'm going to go, I can still have some extra time to work on projects when I get home. There's not a few lovely places in town that have that meet all of the criteria of having a bathroom and whatnot, but not being my house. So I think that works. And actually, I did work from home yesterday, so I'm going to mark that off as a work from home day. Uh, and I we had early release, so I actually got some things done yesterday afternoon after we were released. Oh, and maybe what I'll do is for the rest of the time that I have these work from home days where I'm going to have, or remote days when I'm going to have extra time to actually get some things done, I might actually write down some projects that I want to get done so that I'm not scrambling at the last minute trying to figure out, okay, great, I have a whole day off. What do I do with this time? It's usually better if I have a little bit something planned so that I make the best use of the time that I have. I'm not taking any vacation until uh, probably early next month. Could be this week, but most likely it's going to be early next month. And if you're wondering what I'm doing, is I am taking off the white ink from where the lines are no longer they no longer have to be hidden. I prefer the lines if they're there, and they're a little bit off. They're not perfect, but I can see them a little bit better without the white. So I kind of like it. I think that works. So my friends, that's it. I could decoratively date this, but I think I'm going to leave it alone because I think it's functional and it's pretty and it's going to do the trick for what I need. So with that, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you will join me again. If you liked this video, please hit that like button. And if you want to see more of what I create in this channel, please hit that subscribe button. Thank you for watching and have a great day.